Hell yeah. Hello everyone, this is Jose Herrera with the O3XX series. Today's special guest is Court Heyborne. A little bit about Court. Court Heyborne served with 2nd Battalion 8th Marines as a machine gunner. He deployed to Iraq with Fox Company and Afghanistan with Weapons Company. He is a proud father of 3 sons. Court served as a corrections officer in Southern Utah, graduated from Southern Utah University in construction management. Meeting and leading the Construction Management Club was a pivotal moment for him, as leadership for gaining traction in his life was very much needed. Court struggled with alcohol and physical health for many years. After a 4th attempt with PTSD treatment, it finally stuck and drastically improved his life and his mental health. As a superintendent for the Layton Construction managing the Utah State Prison Construction project, he recognized the importance of effective communication. He found happiness. In his words, "I want to change the world through conversation. My concept of the squeaky door theory means a lot to my self-awareness and deeper understanding of appreciating the gifts of every day. I will always maintain an avid golfing life." Me and Polly want to thank Court for coming on the show and sharing his journey with us. We hope you enjoy this conversation between us. Semper Fidelis.
2-8 machine gunner. You know, some know him. He's infamous in Fox Company for a few different reasons. We don't need to touch on that.
Yeah.
So
stellar performances. Let's go with that.
Yeah, he's good to go. So it's good to have you with us, bro. Yeah. What's been going on with you, man?
Dude, a freaking crap ton, man. It's to think we've been out for 12 years is just holy shit for me. So this all started for me because Davila over in Weapons, the dude works for Wishes for Warriors and put together this stuff to go out to go see Kubrick wrestle in what was it, Dallas?
Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, so that was like January.
Yep.
You know, I thought I'd been doing pretty good. I went through some rough patches in my life, kind of tried to figure it out and get back on the straight and narrow kind of thing. And like at that point, shit, I'm doing pretty good. Like mentally wise, I'm solid. But then meeting up with guys, I hadn't seen guys in like 10 years.
Right.
So getting together and seeing everybody, just that camaraderie of being around other guys that went through the same hell, it was freaking amazing. And it really made me realize that even though we might think we're doing a great job and getting back on our feet and doing awesome, it's still a struggle, it's still a battle. You gotta keep fighting this stuff every day. And it's kind of made me dig my heels in even more and try to figure out my own life out and get back to who I am, being Heyborne. So that's kind of what sparked a lot of this. And I appreciate you guys having me on here doing this. This is pretty sweet stuff.
Yeah, no, we love hearing that, you know, and we love having guys that are willing to come and just chat about stuff, because we hit on this so much here, is just that, like, how tough we're supposed to be. But it's like, you know, and even you said to me personally, you're just like, man, you know, just listening to this stuff is great, because you think you're just over here in your own little bubble suffering, and there's not other people that are dealing with stuff just like you. They're just not willing to put that weight on you or whatever it is. So no, it's good stuff. And I'm with you there on those, those little reunion type events or whatever. I mean, I know that was kind of like a special deal that they put together for us, because what other unit has a superstar wrestler, that we can tote on? But
Cooper's freaking badass. I actually, my second son, his middle name is Cooper.
oh man, that's some real man love stuff right there.
Yeah. Lots of cuddling.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. So go ahead.
Like I give a brief description of what kind of went on with me and where I kind of fell off the tracks, what was going on. It didn't take too long. So I got out of the military. I'm like, I need to be a father. I got kids. I need to be a dad. What's the point of being deployed or going, trying to go special forces and then being deployed all the time? Like, I need to be around, be a father. So that was my biggest to do, was just being around and being a dad. Like year 1, 2 of being out, man. Oof. That weekend taps didn't cut it. So, I struggled. I was doing construction. Southern Utah built a new county jail, so I got hired doing that, and I just need somebody to talk to, somebody to listen to kind of understand and know what was going on, and just be a soundboard. Yes, and I struggled a lot. I got divorced from my wife twice, had another kid, and couldn't figure my shit out, man. Just everywhere I went was 100 miles an hour, no seatbelt on, started drinking a crap ton, and got put on like 30 pounds my first year of college when I was 27. It was just rough. And going through that, it was pretty cool. So I went to Southern Utah University in the construction management program. And I just kind of realized that, I don't have that tight knit group. I don't have my boys around anymore. I don't have the shoot the shit Saturday nights, Friday nights, hanging out, drink beer, doing stupid shit. And it turned into realizing that nobody's going to come help you. Nobody's going to be like, oh, Heyborne, you're not talking about all this stuff. Let's talk about it. They don't know. They don't see it. We try to swallow it and hide our pride best we can. If we're that duck, that perception of I'm great above water, but beneath you're just freaking struggling to get by. And I realized that was my group. I was the president of the construction management club there. And just, I think a lot of it was due to the great guys that were around me, tapping into what they had to provide and just creating that environment to be able to talk, joke, laugh, have that camaraderie again. And it was amazing. That solved that for me. It didn't fix everything, but it kind of helped me out and realize, you know what? I'm never going to be back in. We all miss it. I miss it. I still hate it, but I miss it, but creating that environment with guys and keep evolving in that sense it was amazing. Like, one guy I sat next to, Wyatt, he's a great dude. I didn't like him at first. Like, this guy's annoying as hell. But I told him that. So straight up, dude, when I first met you, nah, dude, I don't like you. But we've turned out, we still talk on Snapchat group, and it's been 4 years. So that kind of environment helped me a ton. And it kind of, I don't know, life was crazy. I started drinking a crap ton more, got hired on with Layton Construction to come manage the construction of the new Utah State Prison, which for me was a huge deal. I thought, shit, I'm never moving back to the city. Like, I can't stand it. You drive around up here and there's so many people. Like, nope, PTSD, don't like that one. So just avoid it, get away from it. And I just threw myself into work, and I realized that wasn't doing it. Like, I broke up with my girlfriend at the time, like doing shit, trying to focus much on work, missed her sister's wedding, just a bunch of stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Getting trashed on Sundays. Nothing like going through a bottle of whiskey and realizing, hey, I don't know what the hell happened yesterday, but it's cool. Like that kind of stuff just wasn't helpful. It wasn't getting me through. I got promoted a couple times last year and started dating a new chick, and it's like something's wrong. Something seriously goofed up. I can feel this sense of need that I just got to change something. Something big's coming. I've got to change whatever I'm doing and figure that out so I can be ready for that opportunity. It's kind of interesting how this crap works out. You know, the VA is perfect, right? You call them up, say, hey, I need this. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll drop it off tomorrow. We'll give you all the meds, all the medical shit you need. We got you. Yet not. I went in for like a yearly physical. They're like, dude, you gotta stop whatever you like, stop alcohol. That ain't helping you. I was like 230. Dude, I knew the number 7 Baconator at Wendy's was 1204. Like I was doing outstanding. So like taking Zip Fizz, caffeine, working 12-hour days, not sleeping, just freaking whatever. They pick up with the suicide question, mental health. It's like, whatever, I'll be honest. Yeah, it sucks. The next day they me like, hey, you answered some questions, kind of cued us, and we'd like to get you to see our suicide like PTSD treatment team. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, let me know. Yeah, they'll get a hold of you next week. A freaking year later, like, they're solid. But once I actually got in, I started talking to this dude.
Ron, let me cut in right there. I'm sorry, but how long really was it before you got in there?
A year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were like,
if anyone's listening if anyone's listening that can do something, there's your problem right there. So this dude goes in, answers questions, and then it raises a flag, and then you contact him, but make him wait for a year.
Yeah, and it was weird. I'm like, are they gonna call me? Like, I don't have a number to call. Their VA is not on speed dial. You can't even get a hold of the right people when you do get a phone number finally. So
what year was that?
Oh shit. So I went through all that PTSD last year, 21. So it must have been 2020.
Okay.
Like during all the COVID crap.
Yeah, that was a rough patch period for them. But they got their not trying to advocate for them, but they now have their telehealth. They have, like, I guess, the app now where you can like directly connect with like somebody there.
Yeah, I've seen a notable difference from the VA in their efforts in trying to, get back on top of stuff. I get it. I'm not going to give them excuses, but that's a lot of freaking guys, and it's a lot of stubborn dudes that are either faking stuff or just really struggling and don't want to say nothing. And it's hard to kind of meet in the middle on both sides. And it's a system. It's gotta figure out how to work, but it's gotten better. I'll give them that.
So how did that go for you, though? I mean, after
so I was initially, and this is probably where I need to speak up more. I was freaked out. Like, I've tried PTSD counseling 2 or 3 times in Southern Utah, but it's like, oh, we got the VA bus that comes through on Wednesdays. I'm like, really, Wednesdays? I'm busy. Like, I got shit to do once a week. So that didn't work out. I went to St. George, Utah when I was living in Cedar. It was like an hour and a half. So I got to drive an hour and a half, go sit down and meet for an hour to talk about shit I don't really want to talk about. So I'm not going to waste 4 hours of my day to feel like shit again, to get worse. I'm like, whatever, I'm good. I'll go buy a bottle. I'll drink it away. It's cool. And that's kind of how it went for a while. It's just, how could, and there's something you said a while ago that kind of really sparked my memory and realized, dude, you got to quit doing stupid shit. Is you said when you started forgetting, you forgot the good stuff too. And I realized, like, I'm very good at getting rid of the memories, but I lost all the good ones too. And Like I get on and listen to some, you guys start talking about stories there. I would have had no clue that should happen. I don't remember it. And it's sad for me. I hate that. Almost like all the guys, you don't take enough pictures. You don't have enough good memories of the fun stuff, the stupid things we did. That's kind of what this is all about, right? Creating memories, creating bonds, and enjoying what's going on. But so I tried this several times, and there was always some goofy guy like, oh, he's an 0311. You'll get along with him. Like, no, dude. Yeah, right. So, and the last guy was even a machine gunner from Vietnam. He was cool. We'd go hang out and like, do it. Like, should I start bringing coffee to these meetings? Because I don't feel like we get anywhere. We're just here to hang out. Like, I got fucking issues, bro. Let's kind of work on this stuff instead of shooting the crap every week. So I kind of had like no trust, no faith. Like, screw you guys, I can handle this stuff. It's no big deal. I got it. And when I first got into it, we were doing prolonged exposure therapy. So I'd relive that same experience, that bad day, every week, time again. And I'd go through it and process it in my head and kind of work through what was going on. It was kind of crazy how these memories would start coming back, and it would be clearer and clearer, and I would understand what was going on, what happened, and we kind of dissected that experience, what happened, felt, how I now, why I don't go into Walmart, why I don't go into Home Depot. When I do, it's A to B, in and out. Like, you ain't talking to me. You're not distracting me. You're not stopping me. And like everybody else, we think we're good. We think we're good. I'm solid. I don't need anything. I don't need anybody. And realizing how much I was avoiding in life. Like, I was doing pretty good at surviving, but it was sad. Like, I didn't enjoy conversations. I didn't enjoy the process. It was chaotic. It was crazy. So, and it was actually a pretty cool experience for me, because I did this all through kind of like a Zoom call thing with the VA. They have their own system. But I'd sit in my truck out at the new prison site, middle of nowhere, desertish, dirt, hot. And I would like open my eyes after doing all this shit and be like, "Oh shit, this is real." And it was freaking rough. I'm not gonna lie. My big fear was that I would not finish. I've tried it before. I'm not gonna finish. I'm gonna get scared or just not want to go down that path again. I mentally can't handle that. And about halfway through, it was like, yeah, that session kicked my ass. Like, I'm not going back to work today. I'm just gonna go home, kind of settle out and figure out what the hell's going on. But once I got done, it was only a couple months, once a week for an hour. Holy shit, dude. I had several people literally look at me and go, "Dang, dude, how you doing? You look amazing. You look great. I physically looked different." It was like somebody took those shackles of pain and hatred and being scared off of me. And it was freeing. I could live. I was excited. I was more enjoyable to be around. I was excited to do stuff. I wanted to get out of bed and go to work instead of just trying to get through it and get to the end of the day and get to the bottle or something like that. So one of my biggest goals throughout this was like my confidence. I went through a crappy marriage, did it twice, lost kids, kind of, I moved 5 hours away from him. I don't see him a ton. I feel like a failed father at times, but my confidence was just beat to shit. Dude, I wasn't walking up to no girls and saying hi. Like, and my golf game for me is how I compare all my personal life. If my golf game going well, if I'm calm, relaxed, having fun, I'm doing good. I'm solid. And I play like 3 times a week now. It's awesome. That's how I
Yeah, I
compare.
see that. You
how
said
I'm-
you're playing some beautiful courses, dude. I'm like, what is it? Like, this doesn't even look real. Like,
Yeah, dude.
do you really, is that something you know can notice in your golf game if
Oh, yeah.
if you're doing well personally?
Yeah, it's
That's
all
wow.
calm. Yeah.
Concentration,
And
right? You have to
Yeah,
be present.
If you feel confident in your ability to do something, you don't question it, right? You're
Right.
not worried about what the outcome is or how it's going to play out. And I'm an overthinker to the T. Like, that's what I do in construction. I'm there on the job site trying to figure out what's wrong, what's goofy, what needs to be fixed, evaluating the situation, what's coming next, and trying to solve everything before it happens, make everything run smooth. And it's a lot, but when I'm calm, when I'm relaxed, when I'm enjoying it, when I go to work to think, go have an enjoyable day, go have a conversation with somebody. And it's directly related to how I'm feeling comfort wise, my confidence. And it's truly freaking amazing. I wish everybody could understand where they're at and take a look back and just, so for me, and it's kind of crazy how this works. It's like the 6 troop leading steps or something like that, characteristics, something like knowing yourself and seeking self-improvement.
Yeah.
Being self-aware of what's going on, where you're at, and evaluating what needs to change, what needs to fix. That has been incredibly huge for me, of seeing where I'm at and being okay to say, you know what, it's okay to not be okay. Like today sucks. Like, there's a shooting range at the new prison. It's where all the FBI guys come in. There was one day after all this PTSD stuff, I'm like, I'm cool, I'm great. I get out of my truck, like, I shut the door, bang, live fire, and I dropped, like, to my knees, couldn't get a breath and stand up. And when my coworker saw it and came over, it's like, dude, you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm good. I just need to, like, give me a second. And it was at that moment I realized I can control who I am and how far I let my mind go down that rabbit hole. And it was one of those times where something happened, it whatever triggered me. It took my mind to another place, and I let it sink in. I let it happen. I let it run its course. And at the end of that 2-3 minutes, I realized where I was. It sucked. It was a struggle to breathe for a second, but it was fine. I'm good. I'm solid. I could still carry on and go out throughout my day. Where if that had happened 3 years ago, oof, I would have turned into an asshole at work, scared, worried, drink my ass to sleep that night. So just my ability to handle any situation now is, the confidence is through the roof. I can't, going through that PTSD therapy, absolutely amazing for me. Completely life-changing. I've got a better relationship with my kids now. I'm able to talk to them and communicate and be a father like I should have been for all those years. 10 years is a long time, right? That's, my oldest is 13, my younger boy's 11, and like, being able to be around them and support them, have conversations about what's going on in their lives and help them kind of muddle through the crap they're going through. Like, I wasn't able to do that 5 years ago. Not a chance. So it's been a huge change for me in what I can do and how I influence others.
Yeah, man, that's you got a lot of fight in you. That's something that I think guys struggle with, you know, if they're like you said, noticing something's wrong with themselves, and then they go and try to get help, and then it doesn't work out. You know, they might just they might not keep sticking to it. Like you knew for a long time you needed to change something, or it wasn't going to end up, you're on a short track there, crushing the baconators and the bottles of whiskey every, week. But you did it. I noticed when we were at, Macklin's thing, man, I always refer to him as his wrestling name. And I'm like, is that disrespectful? Anyway, that's what I'm calling him. That's what he is. But yeah, I just noticed you. I was like, man, you really got your shit together, dude. And I was like, happy for you. You're on a bunch of, like, I know you've been off alcohol for a while and you may be forever, but like a bunch of us partying and having a good time, and you're just sticking to it, enjoying it. And I knew you were enjoying it. You didn't need the booze and whatever. And I was like, man, he's locked in. He's got himself under control. And that's just, you just want that for everybody. Not saying, I would never be the kind of guy to be like, oh man, what are you being a little bitch for? Crush some beers. Like you can't do that in our group, because you don't know what might set somebody off. You don't know. So I would just, he's got himself figured out. And that's what you can hope for all of us, because somebody may not even, like you talked about, leadership traits and principles, know yourself, know yourself and seek self-improvement. That's a big one for me too. I've always said that to myself over the years, and I've tried to critique myself and work through things, but some guys just don't have that ability. So what do? I mean, that's why it's so important, like, to reach out to dudes or maintain communications with guys, because they may be looking to you like, man, he's doing great now. I know a couple years back he was doing shitty. What did he do? Let me just shoot him a text. And then that might be like their way in. That might be the way that they're trying to get help from you or whatever. So it's great, man. And it's not great that you went through all that, but say 10 years. I mean, this is for life. And if you can't find out a way, if you are having real issues and not just somebody that's just trying to fake the funk out here, like, if you pack that all away and just think it's going to go away, it could hit you when you're 60, if you make it that far. Yeah. And then how do you deal with it? If you've trapped yourself in your own little bubble, away from everyone, away from all your bros, and then now you're 60, like, that's going to be really difficult to try and make those connections again. So,
yeah, that'd definitely be rough as hell. Like, I'm so glad I went through it when I did, but I think a lot of it's timing wise too, right? So, like, if this all would have happened, say 4 years ago, I don't think it would have stuck. It wouldn't have made an impact. It wouldn't have been as important at that time. Like, I wasn't ready for it. I had to do some stupid shit. I had to do, like, one of the main reasons I quit drinking was because I'd pick up a glass and I'd black out. Yeah. Like, no shit. How do you black out on 6 glasses of whiskey? I don't know. But my body was so accustomed to that. It was like, hey, okay, he's drinking. He needs to forget. Lights out. And like, being in my position at work, I realized it was not good. I cannot be, like, the last thing I need to do is go out for a drink with friends and then wake up in the jail cell because I got DUI. Like, maybe you need to change some shit and quit doing stupid stuff. But I agree. It's not, the more you wait, the more you hold on to what the good old boys got to do. It makes it hard, makes it rough. But, and I'm not saying whatever I've gone through has made me 100% and I'm good and I'm golden. Like, to be honest, your text on Father's Day freaking hit me like a ton of bricks. Dude, there's good days and there's bad days. I'm not saying the bad days are going to go away, but sure as hell, the good days are amazing. So that's beyond worth it for me. And I'm pretty hard on myself. I've always been like that. So it's kind of interesting to see where I've come now, where I'm at, and how well I'm doing. And everybody tries to compare themselves to everybody else, right? It's a social media craze, seeing Instagram, seeing how many times I go golfing. Like, dude, There's times we go golfing. It's beautiful as hell, but I am a pissed off son of a bitch because I'm playing like shit. It's always a struggle, right? I'm pretty good at finding shit wrong, complaining about stuff, and I know it's something I got to work on. I've had a couple of relationships fail because of it. I've had dates that I've gone on that I'm like, God, did I just sit there and complain like a little bitch the entire time about stupid shit? Yeah. And fuck yeah, I did. It's like maybe quit doing that crap. And I don't want to be in the constant mindset of, hey, I have to fix myself. I have to do this. And as far as being successful, it's kind of crazy. I'm gonna tell you this story a little bit. So when I was graduating college, that final year, everybody graduates or has something in their life. Like, I gotta set some goals. I'm gonna set some goals. This is how I'm gonna be happy. So how I'll measure my success. You know, you get out of the military and you think you're never gonna have anything as great as that again. And like, I had these lists of stuff. Like, I'm gonna get a house. I'm gonna get a dog. I'm gonna have a place for my kids to live. I'm gonna have a diesel Duramax. I'm gonna have a motorcycle. I'm gonna have a Camaro, and I'm gonna be married with a great job, right? Freaking within like 2 years, I had all that shit. I wasn't married, but I had a girl I lived with, had a dog, had the house, had everything. Well, we broke up, and I'm like, nice. This is lovely. I hate my shit. And I'm the loneliest I've ever been in my entire life. Like, the stuff doesn't freaking matter. You know, it's nice to have some good quality stuff around to enjoy, but trying to keep it as simple as possible and then just enjoy what you got. That's not an easy task. And figuring out what you're doing right now that can create some happiness, what you can do to enjoy it. And I was thinking about this last week about, and I don't know if there's an actual theory behind this or whatever, but I kind of coined it myself, of the squeaky door theory, that no matter what you do, the door is going to be there. It's on your house. It's on the back porch or whatever. Yeah, it squeaks. Like me, I'd sit there and bitch, complain, and whine. Why is it squeaky? Put it on the to-do list. Put it in my brain of, hey, I've got to get this done. Once I stop the squeak, then I'll be happy. No, it's a complete change of thought pattern of what actually makes you happy. Like, I'm gonna go out with the boys. It's Friday. I'm gonna go get slammed, go get drunkard and shit. I'll be happy. Like, crazy work week. Gotta go relax. Gotta go get fucked up. Do some stupid shit. Throw up. Run naked through the streets. Like, dude, that was me. That's what I did. We lived for Friday and Saturday. But for me, it's making that mental shift and change of, you know, it's okay for the door to be freaking squeaky. It's there. I have a door. Like, when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, coming back, it was like a firm place in my mind. It doesn't matter from here on out. I love ice. Ice is like freaking gold, dude. If I have a cup, I'm happy. I don't care if I make $1 million. If I make 50 grand a year and can live with my family and be around them, I'm perfect. I don't care. That's all I need. That's all I want. But, you know, the further we go into life and we want stuff, and you don't get it or you get it, and you kind of realize, yeah, you got it, but nothing changed. You know, you take the door off the back door. Now you ain't got a door. Now you got the breeze coming in, the cold, the hot, whatever. Being able to appreciate what's there, enjoying every single day, no matter where you're at, what you're doing, you can be happy. It's, I don't know. It's kind of my fly. Just enjoying what you're doing. Be smart. Have a smile on your face. Enjoy having a conversation with the random dude next to you at the gas station. Being able to change your mindset and change. So it's my thought process through all of this and everything. I don't have a shit ton of friends. I don't have a lot of like groups, people that I hang out with, but I still want to change the world. Like, I legitimately know that I can change the world, and I want to do that through conversation. simple stuff like this. This is a huge deal for me because I want to be able to talk and have these discussions and start put a little seed in somebody's head that it's okay to make a change. It's okay to be where you're at. It's all right to just say, you know what, today's a shit day. Tomorrow will be better. I'll work on it. But for me, that's all in the way we have a conversation, right? We got to be able to talk about it. We got to be able to sit down. Amazing 5 years, but let's talk about the good stuff. Maybe find something little we can change. Let's make an adjustment. Let's call it what it is and accept it and then move forward.
Yeah, that's some of the biggest challenges that we face as a country is how do we begin to process our entire lives on top of the new challenges that we're facing. And I think, I can't speak for women because I'm not a woman, so I can only speak for men, but I know that, like, for example, the only way that I can begin my morning is if I go through suffering. I have to suffer to remember what it is that I'm fighting for, what it is that I'm living for. And I always tell Polly and I tell most of the guys, nothing's really changed. My regimen is pretty much the same. I wake up at 2 a.m. to start that ritual, which is to go through that hazing moment to realize that I am human. Then I come back, I eat chow, humble myself, I sweep and clean, and then I head off to work so that I can be this person that's present-minded. And over the years, a lot of guys have reached out and said, hey man, you're successful now, and my version of success isn't having content or followers or anything like that. My success has been in the small things, being able to go on a walk or run in the morning, to stop, think about the birds chirping, or just to feel the heat on my face without having some type of like suicidal ideation or thinking 20 steps down the road what I need to do in order to get through the day. Like, those are the successes that I have in the morning, and every day it's a challenge. Like, I don't think there's one single day where it's like an easy day in terms of like, oh, today was an easy breezy smooth sailing day.
Yeah.
I think being in the present, I get and this is something when we said you forget the memories, like you forget the good stuff too. Man, there's like a 10-year fog that I went through where I only remember like the big stuff, and I forgot all that other little stuff. And this is something that I've shared with Polly, but one of the biggest regrets that I have is that I basically lost all my youth. Like 10 years of my life went away not hiding in dark places, but living in dark places. And I thought that going back overseas was going to change all that as well, making money and living that lifestyle, and it only made it worse. And this morning I was on a run, and I was thinking, holy shit, it's been like 4 years since I've been in the country, and I'm starting to get the shakes again. Like, where is this coming from? Like, why is it here? And I shook it off and I said, hold on, man. You're going to make a decision that it's not going to be best for you. Just sit down, relax, enjoy this morning, and then go back. And I did. And, I got back in the game. Then I came home, and sure enough, man, right on, my memories on Facebook, it was, Vanessa. It was Vanessa's little, anniversary. And then we were doing this podcast, and I was like, that's right. I was like, this is where you're needed. This is the success that needs to happen in terms of trying to overcome whatever it is that men are going through in this country, or at least our demographic is trying to find those answers. That'll be a great success, but more importantly is overcoming that moment where it's like, it's not going to do me any good if I dwell on that. And that took me a long time too, man. I was pretty banged up. I denied it for a very long time. And, I thought that, just because I was running and gunning, doing 50 miles, 100 miles, whatever, on foot, that I was good to go, but I really wasn't. I had a giant tear in my spirit. And it wasn't until I began to acknowledge that component, along with like the actual neurochemical processes taking place, that I began to address those problems. Um, for me, day in and day out, it's that constant battle with the 22-year-old kid who wants to come out and establish his dominance in order to make sense of this world that we're living in. And it's a tough thing because this world it feels like it's going crazy. But I think a lot of it is the fact that they don't have a community like we do. And that's what I hope, that this platform does, is it brings back the community, lets people know that, we're still here, we've been here, and we're here for the right reasons.
Oh yeah, no, it's what you're doing is a huge deal. I know it made a big impact for me just to see, Gunny Gromit and Kubrick and all these other guys on here being able to have a voice, being able to have their opportunity to their perspective, where they've been, what they've done, kind of where they're at right now. Like, not everybody can be a professional wrestler, right? I don't have the mental capabilities of being as smart as you and understanding all the mental, psychological aspects. I would love to. The psychological stuff really instigates me in my thought process and figuring stuff out. But like we all got to live our own lives. We're in different states, we're in different spots, we're in different relationships. And I'm thinking about this yesterday. Think about how many freaking people there are on this planet right now. Not a single person has the exact same experience as the person next to him or anywhere, right? Everybody, even in a relationship or in a family, husband and wife with kids, something happens at home, the husband's going to interpret or understand, see that experience one way. The wife's going to see it, experience it, have thoughts about it a different way. The kids thinking the same thing, something different. So we're all going through something completely different, unique to us, and how we perceive it, how we feel about it, how we want to respond. But we're all basic human beings, right? We all have certain needs and wants. We all want to be felt, heard, have a voice, to be seen by people, right? But understanding you're not alone. Everybody's got their unique experience that's to them, but so many other people have had something similar that they can relate to. So it leaps and bounds above what happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, technology wise, for us to be able to sit down and have a conversation. And then hopefully, even if it's one person, it's all worth it, right? Somebody can hear it, listen to it, have a thought. Might not even be right now. I mean, there's a lot of times, also like that comment Pluck made a while ago. That didn't hit me for like a month or two after I heard it. It's putting yourself in the right position to be successful, to be healthy, to be loved and cared about, right?
Yeah, man. That's one thing that keeps me going is like as a father, dude, I don't know what that's like. Like, I don't know what that really is. What's a good father, right? Because I provide financially, monetarily, everything. We have a house, the whole thing, and like the whole game has changed, right? You have all these fears now, and so it's like it's something that I can't like strive. I try to strive to be, but it's almost like an impossible thing to be. So I don't know how to like do that, right? So some days I feel like shit. I was like a crap father. My projects came before my own kid. What am I going to do to better myself? Or there's moments where it's like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm still mating in my projects, or I'm still mating with like trying to make certain changes in my relationships. But no matter what, when it's all said and done, I know that I still have this community and that I haven't failed because I'm still here. I'm still fighting. And I know that there's at least 100 other dudes that I know, from the unit that are in the same boat. So it's like everything can go to shit, but I know that at the end of the day, the community that we have, the two-way community, is still there for me. So it's like I'm victorious no matter what at the end of the day. And I really wish people could experience that. And like meeting other guys from other units. There's another guy, Chase Smoke. He was a 3-2 Marine. That dude, it feels like that guy was in 2-8, and it's just the shared reality of what it is. You know, you suffered, you know, differently, but it was all suffering. And at the end of it, we're all still here striving to get through, you know, whatever it means to live that good life. And maybe it's the totality of all of life, right? There's all these ebbs and flows, but I really wish that people would experience that. And if there's guys out there who you know, who had a community like that, it would make their life a whole lot easier and better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think a big thing for me especially is like a lot about like what we did, our time in and everything. I told Jose this. I'm like, man, like I think about that, you know, just some of those operations, and I'm just like, I never felt like really scared or terrified of what we were doing because I felt like I was confident. I felt like I was in control. I knew my job. I knew if circumstance, you know, was thrown at me, I would be good for it, no matter what it was, right? And that's just the mindset I carried going throughout, not even knowing what was possible. But when I think about it now, 10, 12 years removed from it, I'm like, holy shit, dude, like that, I can't imagine walking those routes now. I'm like, what's different? Like, what's different? And I'm like, it's not that now I'm in a position where I feel like I have too much to sacrifice. Like the sacrifice wouldn't be worth it, right? Because back then you're still trying to find yourself. Of course, young men on proving grounds, people call it whatever you want, you know, this alpha dominant or you know, masculine community, but it's not that. You were all kids just trying to find ourselves, and we love our country and we love each other. But the big difference that I've realized is that the fear of letting someone down is what made us do what we were able to do. I'm not that I don't love all of you guys, but I'm not around you on a daily basis now. So that importance is not as prevalent in my life today. When it was there, you're like, I'm going out here because I'm going to do everything I can to make sure all the boys come back. You're more worried about that than you are yourself getting injured or dying, or, you know, and it's just, we live without that for so long. You change physically, chemically, you change because you don't feel that dependency on you being able to do your job every day. Right. Of course, you know, and that's probably a big thing. I'm no therapist. I'm far from it. But you know, I realize some of the things that you struggle with or what I struggle with too, as far as constantly complaining or, you know, bitching about shit. I do that a lot too. Marines do that in general, but it's just because you have a problem solving mentality, right? You're noticing a lot of stuff that needs to happen that probably people around you aren't, and you're just voting it because that's how you do it. I do it too. No, it's probably not good small talk on a date or something, but you know, like, so it's just, but yeah, just that pressure of not letting people down for me, it's such like a driving force in my life still. Like Jose says, like, as long as I don't let my kids down and my unit down and my brother down, I'm good. You know, like I will be okay. But yeah, man, it's a lot of figuring it out. You know, you don't have to be a wizard or super intelligent to be able to do a self-analysis and be like, where do I fall short? Because we can all sit here, and this is great that we're able to even do this, right? Have this conversation, because when you can be open about sucking at something, it does a lot for you too. And I procrastinate a lot, probably just like a lot of you, but I realize that when I do that, it just makes it worse for me, because I'm like, oh, there's more stress and more pressure because I'm not addressing this, or I'm not doing this, ticking this box, whatever. And like, I've tried to change my approach to see, you know, to see if I can change the outcomes, but hard. You have to really think a lot, and people don't like to think. People don't like to talk. you know, and it's just like, if I can, and a big thing I think, like you said, and like most of us have, is like, we don't have a lot of friends, like close friend groups and stuff like that. Why is that? For me, it's because I don't really know who I can trust. You know, I don't really know. I don't want to invest in someone, which this sounds cold, but I don't want to invest in someone that I don't feel like would be there for me if I needed them to be there for me. Like, really, truly be there for me. Like I knew I had 10, 12 years ago. Like, I really felt like if I needed someone, they would be there, and I know they would. It's hard to seek that out in someone, because baseline, I know we all started off in the same place and we were there for similar reasons. So that's, you know, that's the starting point. How do you do that with someone that doesn't have that shared experience? It's difficult, I think, for us, like veterans especially. So yeah, keeping this community connected as much as possible is probably the best thing that any of us can really do right now. Like, at least investing in it a little bit, making sure the connections are still there and you can still, you know, rely on people is, I don't know, it's just huge. It makes that whole suffering alone feeling a lot less.
No, I think it's massively important. I think we take it for granted a little bit. The abilities we have to communicate right now, we don't use them. Right? Like, everybody got out, had Facebook groups and this and that, and everybody's giving each other shit, and talking and hanging out, posting pictures, and then it just kind of dwindles, kind of goes away. Everybody gets focused in on what they're doing and what their life is like. And I probably speak for everybody that just a simple text of, "Hey, happy Father's Day," like, dude, that shit stopped me in my tracks. Like, I'm having a freaking crappy day. I hate it. I don't have my kids around me today, but Pollock literally just put a smile on my face. I think I teared up a little bit from it. The dude is halfway across the country and took the time to be like, let me just text this guy. I don't know what went through your head, but that was massive for me. And I'm doing pretty good. So, like, taking the time and thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? Shit. Maybe I could be such a selfish asshole. Like, it's not about me. Like, stop. Who could I text? Who could I call? Do the same thing, right? Somebody out there probably needs it. We all think about it. We all go through the day where, yeah, it's out of sight, out of mind. It's not easy to be like, go to the next squad bay or go down the couple barracks rooms and give each other shit from a Friday night. But, you know, taking that time to, you know what? I'm gonna text West, see how he's doing. Check in. Ask him if he's moving. Like, the small stuff, right? Everybody wants that for themselves. Why can't we do that for each other? Little basic little stuff, you know? Like, I've got Dominic Davila, amazing dude. Sometimes a goofball, drives me nuts, but he's fucking amazing guy, right? Just had a freaking baby girl. He's got the cutest family. He lives like 45 minutes from me. Like, why the hell am I not over there once a week? Shoot the shit, stop by, go do a quick workout in the gym with him. You know, try to find him a leg at Walmart. I don't know. Like, basic little stupid stuff. He lives freaking 5 minutes away from Chris Hansen. Like,
yeah,
it's not that hard. We can do this stuff. It's pretty simple.
It is, though, because it's not, you're right, but it's like all of your names in my phone are attached to memories, and I know we all have that too, right? So it's like, some of those memories are good and bad, and I think that's part of the reason why guys don't really want to reach out all the time, is because they don't go back there. Like, you don't know what he said. And I think it's hard, especially, you know, I was talking to Rash the other day on the phone, and, you know, he was talking with, you know, guys from Fox Weapons or whatever. And he's just like, man, the conversation, sometimes we don't even talk about military stuff or anything. It's just normal life stuff. Like, I think people just associate their brothers with those time periods, and they're really just kind of afraid to go back there mentally. So they're like, oh, I'm not gonna hit him up, because what if he's not doing good? The reason I'm hitting him up is because I'm kind of having a shitty day. And if he's not doing good, too, I don't know if I can help them, or you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's very real. That's very real.
so
I don't
it's
want a problem for anybody else, but at the same time, you know, don't be so in the shop closet. You know,
no, dude.
yeah, we should know. Like we went to combat with each other. We showered with each other. We saw each other wake up for 6 months straight in the middle of the freaking desert.
Yeah.
You know,
And it,
we
dude,
know,
and
guys, we can tell, hey, he's been kind of disappearing on me. Like, reach out, say hi, shoot him a joke. I don't know.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's not hard. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, it's a little bit of your time during a day where you could potentially, change somebody's outcome, and I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to really go into that because it's just, I've had a real problem lately, and I've told Jose this with like, I'm trying to get off of social media entirely, but I know I can't because I do want to keep the connections and the
Yeah.
the communications open. But it's just like a lot of times I'll go on there, especially on these vet pages, moto pages, whatever, and I just read the comment section. Like I go there for that. And the amount of like disrespect and just shit talk, like I I'm so tired of all this. Like, why are we, especially now in this climate with everything going on, why are we shitting on vets? Why are vets shitting on vets and saying, oh, you got, people are just out here clout chasing. You didn't do shit. You didn't go here. You didn't do this and that. It's like, dude, that there should be zero tolerance for any of that kind of shit. Because you're potentially assisting somebody in suicide by doing this, by belittling them. And honestly, if you're the type of person that's trashing people for what they did or didn't do, or how they're helping the community, like if you're shitting on them, dude, you really need some help. You need to figure out what the hell is going on with you to make you do that to someone else. It's just not. People say push and pee. I don't even really understand what that means, but but it's like it's like what just be a decent person to other people. And if you don't have anything nice to say, yeah, like everybody's mom told them. My mom never told me that, dude. I don't think she was okay with me being a bully because but it's like for real though, why are you spending your energy just trying to put someone down? I get it that might elevate you or something, but that's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, that's a selfish mentality. The more we help each other out, the more everybody benefits as a whole, right? If you see your buddy succeeding and doing shit, congratulate him, help him out.
Congratulate him, right? And mean it though.
Yeah,
Right?
be sincere about it. You never know what's going to happen. Like, who knows? You might run into a guy down the road, and because of the way you associated with him a couple of years ago, could completely change the outcome of that new
Yeah.
situation, right? You never know. I went on a date with an older woman who's got a friend that helps out veterans, like starting companies. It's been at the top of my mind. I need to reach out. Like the date didn't go very well, but it's a resource. It's somebody out there, somebody that can connect people and do something. You never know what the possibilities are, and they don't even have to be veterans, right? The fact that they know you're a veteran, you act like a fool, be a dipshit. People are gonna see that. People, they might not say something at the time, but they're catching on. They know what's up.
Yeah,
and they see it.
Yeah. That's another thing that keeps me in check. It's like, oh, dude, like if you mess up, dude, you're representing your entire community. You're representing that entire organization that you upheld. So it's like the stakes are even higher now if like you slip up. So it's like it's a constant gut check, right? Because I want to step out of line too. I tell Bob this all the time. Sometimes I just want to hijack the algorithm and just start causing radical like cortisol and dopamine levels to go through the roof. But is that really going to be something? Is that going to benefit anything or anything? You know what I mean? It's not. And I did it the other day, and I shouldn't have done it. A lot of people thought I was going to commit suicide, And that wasn't my point. It was just a lot of negativity in the air. And I just wanted to hijack the algorithm so that people would start thinking in terms of, oh, you know, we need to step out of that one dimensional, that homogenous view, and look at something else entirely. But yeah, dude, it's a constant gut check. Again, I don't think, well, in terms of philosophy, right? We I think the Marine Corps especially, there's this huge transition where the idea of ethics has kind of like become mechanical. It's no longer this lived philosophy. And when you compare it to mainstream society, which is very emotivistic, very relativistic, uh, very hyper real, right? We can't distinguish real qualities anymore. That stuff latches onto to young minds, and that young mind now has a reference to what it's, you know, what something is supposed to be. Again, I don't think a lot of people understand what these types of qualities really are as a result of these newer types of philosophies that have kind of become these viruses. And so what do you do with that, right? What do you do with that? How do you address that? And I think one of the detriments of the community as a whole is that we don't have a narrative. Right now, the narrative is vets are sick, vets are mentally ill, vets are killing themselves. And that's not I mean, that's the truth, but it's not like the entire veteran population is doing that. There's a lot of successes out there, right? And those small contributions online that people are basically degrading others is a contributor to that. That's why I don't believe the internet is this is the real internet. There's actually another real internet that I call the noosphere. It's this collective consciousness that's out there, and I think you can tap into it. And that's some of the, you know, one of the therapies that I wanted to bring into, right? So you talk to another guy, 10 years go by, 4 years go by, you wonder about that individual. What if there's a way that you could connect with one another where you actually monitor each other's actual biorhythm, where you actually see how they're actually physically doing? It's an intensive program. It's something that I want to integrate into the VA and the DoD, whereas you're actually connected to this individual. And I think that's something that we as a society have lost, is that we think that a connection is somewhat transactional. Like, you do this for me, I do this for you, and that's how it should be. But what we're really trying to get at is that there's something, you know, not using Zuckerberg's meta, but something beyond, right? We don't know what a real connection looks like anymore, right? Because a lot of it's been perversed by technology. But what if that connection was your actual biofeedback rhythm, right? What if you could see someone's internal biorhythm, see how they're sleeping, see if they're taking their proper nutrients, see if they're actually doing okay, and then going into an encrypted network to discuss some of the more intricate things, right? Establishing a neural map, a baseline of all the horrific and wonderful things that have happened in your life, and then seeing what that rhythm looks like throughout 1 year. And then the following year, you begin to work on that, right? Because that's what's really happening, is that there's this major shift in all these things that are wonderful and good for us, but they're also becoming nefarious as a result of the operational environment changing. So we have to go back to what it is that what this connection really is. And I think, you know, and for the most part, the past 12 years, when I've come across most veterans or most guys from the unit, it's the connection piece, right? How do you properly articulate that into, fundamentally, evidence-based, science-based platforms, when the connection that you're talking about is someone in the metaphysical realm, right? Well, there's ways to do it. We just have to step outside that, orthodox framework. And I think in the long term, it's going to suit the overall community better, is whenever we're actually synced up to one another. And there is a real internet. The real internet isn't, though, it isn't like a social media platform, though. It's you're connected to another individual or a fire team. And I think that's what's going to kind of like get the individuals who are stuck in those dark shadows to come out, is actually syncing up to one another. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but there's a lot of other crazier therapies out there that are, in my opinion, shouldn't be out there, but hey, we're trying to find solutions. So
Yeah, it's a little out there, but I kind of like it. I like that thought process and alignment of taking useful data, as long as it's used properly. But well, I never thought about it like that. Being able to take, yeah.
I know it's a little out there, but you can, the crazy thing is that we had it on patrol. We had it when we were in. You knew exactly what the other guy was thinking. You knew his move.
Yep.
Sometimes you had dreams about them. That's replicable out here. In fact, some of these incidences that, have kind of created this dark shadow or this, created this dark cloud, a lot of those incidences could have been averted if we would have acted on those, what we would consider the sixth sense, right? If we would have just reached out, but we didn't. Why? Why weren't we following those same protocols? And to me, the Marine Corps established those earlier frameworks that can be adapted into a civilian framework that's not just suitable for the veteran community, but also for the citizen population. The problem is, again, is I don't have Google backing me up. I don't have some other network backing me up. And that's actually one of the, so the VA put out this like challenge. So it's going to grant like $20 million to the winners of this challenge. And it's basically, I think it's sad that, the VA has to resort to, challenges and prizes to try to figure out what's going on with suicide. Rather than having open forums to bring in the pool of individuals, rather than having to go through this process of I need to seek out my congressman, and that congressman needs to seek out the secretary, and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and then people want to know who you're working for, people want to know your organizations, people want to know ... rather than creating this kind of like forum where you're actually able to bring forward solutions. But one of the things that I wanted to bring was this thing called precognitive resilience. So everybody has this ability to see information, right? Perceive information. There's been meta-analysis done where the body psychophysiologically can know 10 seconds before something bad is about to happen to it, right? There's people who have actual visions of the future as they sleep or in the moment. When you're going to get ambushed, you shouldn't step right there in that spot. That's where that IED is.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're not capitalizing on it is because there's this thing called the scientific method that only accounts for maybe 4% of what is in the known universe. And so my point is that we have all these doctrines, we have all these training programs that are built to create and upgrade Marines. Why isn't that being applied in the same sense? And I don't know, maybe they've thought about it in the past, maybe they haven't. But I do know this: we need to upgrade. It makes no sense that we upgrade every component within our armed forces, our DoD, national security, but we don't upgrade the very individuals that go back into the communities and support infrastructure on whatever sector. And it's time that, human beings undergo an upgrade. It's good for the economy. It's good for our communities. It's good for all those sectors. It's good for being just, fathers, brothers, mothers, and sisters. So there's a lot of challenges that are presented, but more importantly, I think it's going back to what that connection is, right? And how do you feel for that? And I would recommend for most guys, and I just done this, and I've been talking with Polly about it, but I got my blood checked, right? Because that's a huge determiner of whether your body is in the right place or not.
Yep. And
I was a little bit worried, because I'm 34 now, and I don't know, what changes are coming, but I'm scared to go to the doctor because it's like every time I go, there's like they find something huge, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through these things. But it's something that I did, and I was glad that I did, because now I know that my blood is good to go. I'm still good to go.
Yeah.
I've been running my suck for a little bit, but yeah.
No, we like it, man. We like when you run your suck. So what else you got, Heyborne, man? You're good. Your golf game's decent.
Yeah, good.
You really shoot. You play 9 or
No, I played.
you play every time? How long is that? Dude, I know that we're getting side railed and this is not really, but
Talk
it's
about important shit, right?
dude, I've been hooked on this guy. I don't play golf. I played golf like once in my life. I've been hooked on this dude's YouTube channel, Bob Does Sports. Have you seen? Go find him on YouTube. He's so hilarious. He's like an amateur golfer, dude, but it's great content. It's mine, it's just a sinkhole for me, but it's a little decompression thing. I just laugh at this dude. But it's great. They go shoot. I think he's out there in California or something, but they just go to courses.
Manolo teaches golf?
No, it's him and these like good dudes. Anyway, they're just young playing golf. It seems really I don't know anything about golf, but I'm just watching these amateurs play golf now. I'm like, what am I doing?
How much golf has grown. Like Tiger Woods grew the game of golf back in 2000s when he took off and did amazing things. But COVID hit and golf grew like 18%. Like I was at the golf store yesterday. There's no Titleist Pro V1s on the shelf. They've been out of.
People were playing golf throughout COVID just because it's kind of a spaced out, right? You're outside and it's
something different. And like it's hard to get a tee time nowadays.
Wow.
3 years ago, just walk up to a course and they'll probably get you on 15.
Do you is that something you always did? You played golf your whole life?
I've played golf since I was 8. My aunt got me into it because I scared shy guys. Like, hey, if you call and make a tee time, I'll pay and take you. And golf it's amazing. I played forever. I went to a golf academy in Phoenix in 2005.
You went to a golf academy to learn golf? Wow.
Yeah, learn golf, teach golf, know the golf industry. I wish I would have stayed and finished through. I kind of fell out and dropped out, but
I mean, I'm not trying to tie race into this, but that sounds white privileged, man. Really?
Yeah. Straight up, bud.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I honestly don't feel, man, maybe, because it's just watching it and like seeing your pictures of like Dom's always, I know you guys are, play a lot together and stuff, or you have. I'm just like, man, that seems really like peaceful to do. Like
it really is. So for me, it's like I consider it my utopia, right? It's changed a little bit recently. Like before, I would go golfing and the world would just disappear.
Yeah.
I had a kid, life was crazy. I could go pick up my clubs, go on the golf course, spend 4 hours and just smile. It was like my reset button. That's how I found my zen, my zero. And it's kind of evolved more. So I got a lot better. I'm like, ooh, man, I'm getting good. Let's go try to do this professionally. The year, like I broke up with my girlfriend right before COVID hit. Like, I'm gonna get some new clubs. I'm gonna go practice. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do it. And then COVID hit. It's like, man, screw that idea. So ever since then, it's kind of been like it's a personal battle between myself, right? I don't compete. Like I compete against the guys with me, but I'm out on the course. It's a different course usually every time. So it's literally me competing against myself. I'm mastering my own body and my discipline to play the game of golf. And I kind of laugh when people say, golf's not a sport. Like, go try it. Go to Topgolf. You go try to do the basic, simple things that it's so freaking hard to do. Golf's very, very simple. But the mental aspect, we can make it so freaking difficult and so hard. And it's just a way to get out. It's my leisure. Like I kind of quit hunting, kind of quit doing all this other stuff. I sold my Camaro, bought new golf clubs, and I'm a golfer, man. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm so stiff. Like I'm not really flexible person. I've never really been, but some of them guys and cranking them drives and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I can twist my body like that, but and I'm sure it just takes practice, but
it takes a lot of practice. It's painful. It is.
Dude, how much do one of those clubs cost?
Yeah, they don't cost as much as a Camaro, dude. Really?
So the profit I got off the Camaro, my clubs would cost about $4,000.
Oh
wow. How many clubs is that?
That's 14.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
14 clubs per bag. You know, a driver nowadays is freaking $600. So.
Wow.
Whoa. I've never played golf, man.
Yeah, you can get a base for $300 at Dick's or some sporting shop. It's not hard. Basics here. You can rent clubs at the golf course, but yeah, I love it because you can play it till you're like 80. Shit.
Yeah. Kind of like, well, I mean, I don't fish a ton anymore, but I kind of relate it to fish, even though fishing is like not. I'm gonna piss people off by saying this. It's not skill, dude. It's being in the right place at the right time. I'm a fisherman. I have a bass boat. That's not.
I love the fish. I'm freaking horrible.
Yeah, it's such a. But I mean, as far as
Caverly, remember Caverly?
Oh yeah. He's up there in Michigan, I think.
I'm gonna tell him.
Dave Barry's.
Yeah, I would piss him off, but I would say the same thing. I love fishing, but you know, it's kind of right place, right time, right bait, lure. You can learn all those things, but I'm relating it like it's something you do as you age, and it's a peaceful thing where you're outside and just enjoying, you know, your surroundings, which I think is important. But I don't know if Jose should go play golf. You know, he would people would probably think he's you know, the keeper, you know, lawn keeper or something. But or the green.
If I see dead grass,
yeah, with his knives shaping up the grass.
They'd be like, "Hey, you need to come rake this pit over here, dude."
I do it. If they pay me, I do it. Pay me and I'll do
Sunday job.
Yeah, for real, man. I don't think I could do it just because I don't have the. It's not that I'm not patient. It just, I don't know. I feel like I have other things that I would.
Right, you're too pressured to be conquering the world. I feel like what would be a good thing eventually, if we keep doing this for long enough, you know, we just do a like 03XX series 1v1, me versus Jose, completely trash at golf, both of us, you know.
Hell yeah.
Put on YouTube. That'd be great.
Yep. Live event.
Or maybe we bring like you and Dom and do like a scramble where it's teams, like, you know, that'd be sick.
That'd be badass, yeah. Do like military cup.
Dude, I've never golfed, dude.
I know. I did golf once, and it was really just to go out there and drink. That was it, you know. And it was 15 years ago.
Perfect middle ground, right? You can't be sober, you can't be trashed. It's like gotta maintain 4. That's it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd hit the ball. I'd be slicing it, but
that'd be cool. That'd be fun.
No, all in jokes, but good, you know. Who knows? Who knows what might happen?
Yeah, right. So I think all in all, overall, this shit, if I were to leave anybody that ever listens to this, it's for me, I've maintained this idea the last year or so of effective communication of expectations, right? And that goes for everything, anyone, any place, anytime, your relationship, work, trying to, you know, I coordinate scheduling for work all the time. If I don't sit there and talk about what's going on, what to expect, you know, you're just going to get what you get. So, and I got a boss who's amazing, Doug Brown. The dude's taught me more. It's crazy. So like, expect what you inspect, right? If somebody says, "Hey, how you doing?" Good. What's everybody's response? Good. I'm all right. Like, if you're not good, maybe say something. Maybe that's your chance to open up and have a conversation with somebody. Like, you don't have to dump them. You don't have to unload and be like, "Oh, fuck, man, dude, life is shitty. I mean, fuck, gas prices are crazy." I don't know how people are affording shit right now, to be honest with you. But everybody's struggling. Everybody wants to have somebody listen to, talk to. You know, take the opportunity. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. You know, if you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got. Keep doing the same shit, you're gonna get the same result. So There's nothing wrong with being honest. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to have a great time. It's okay to be shitty. But let's have conversations. Let's talk about stuff. Let's, hit somebody up they haven't talked to in a while and just shoot the shit. Like, I'm not good at it, but I love the times when I do it and take the time and kind of stop for a second, enjoy life. Like, it's not all about A to B, getting there and going as fast as you can.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, you weren't always good at golf either, and that's kind of the thing. People, that say that, and I could say it too. You're not going to get better if you don't do it. And like you're saying, just talking to each other, that's a big deal. That means a lot to a lot of people. And I'm very grateful to be doing this with Jose. I mean, I tell him all the time, but it's just like, even if no one were to listen to this, and that's another weird thing too, is that a lot of times, especially when we talk like unit guys or people that are comfortable, these conversations end up being like a conversation that is not intended to want to hear. It's really us having a conversation, and even if it was recorded, there's still a lot of benefit that comes out of it for me, for you. I mean, it's just a good way to connect with other humans, even though it'd be better to be in a room together, obviously, but this is the second best thing. But yeah, not to hijack your point, because that's some good stuff there. Just talking to people, just be a person. Don't lie, be honest. Like you said, don't dump on them if you're not having a great day, but don't lie and be like, oh, I'm great.
Yeah.
Are you? You go out to your car at lunch and cry in a car for an hour, but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, but I know that people do that. Like, don't say something.
I'll admit it. Like, I got back in the gym last October. Like, it's not freaking easy. It's not. I feel amazing. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm at 35. Like, I thought that would never happen. I thought Marine Corps was the best shape I'd ever be in. I'll never be that good again. Like, I started lifting, getting better, but it's freaking hard. It ain't easy. It takes a lot of commitment to show up every day. There's plenty of times I'll show up at the gym, sit on my phone in the truck in the parking lot for half an hour. Like, I don't want to do this, man. It sucks. It's 8:30 at night. I'll just go home and eat pizza. It's cool. Like, it's a struggle. It's real. Life's a bitch. Sometimes you just gotta take it by the balls and just do what you want. Screw what other people think. Sit in your truck for 45 minutes and then go in there and attack it. Like, quit worrying about what other people think.
For sure, man. That's the key right there, what you just said. I think, especially, I always bring younger people into it. I don't want to sound like some, old idiot, but like, I worry about so much going, just like kids being developed based off of these ideas out there that aren't real, that they're seeing on TikTok and whatever else. It's like, man, if you're forming your goals in life based off of that, we need to.
That's a real worry for me. I kind of struggle with that, because I know, like, we all hear stories. Like, you get out of the military, you get out of the Marines, be like, oh, kids in boot camp got phones now. Like,
right.
What, thermopedic pillows and shit too. Like,
they're planking instead of doing sit-ups.
Like, oh, get a yoga pad to do a sit-up. Fuck, but that's a real thing for me, and I'm big on, like, definitions. I'm kind of a nerd in that way. I think I've kind of developed that the last year or two. But just setting a definition for something, right? Having everybody on the same page. That's why when Herrera was talking about all that stuff about, oh, dude, way too smart for me. Kind of lost me for a second, but the ethos of the Marine Corps, right? That changes. Like, that's tradition. When we were over in Afghanistan and Iraq, we knew each other. We knew our squad. We knew the guy to left or right, because we had that base understanding of what was going on. You weren't just there to be there and support him and be there. Like, you were there because hundreds of years before, that's what they did too. They had that same mentality that we got each other's backs no matter what goes on, no matter what happens. I'm going to show up. I'll show up for you just like you'll show up for me. So and that kind of worries me, changing this attitude of definitions of, like, pronouns. I don't even know what a pronoun is. but just the general ethos of the Marine Corps, the military, what that stands for and does for us. I mean, I take a lot of pride in it, right? Shit, like who would get on a podcast and wear a freaking 2H shirt? I'm not even there. I'm in the front room of my apartment. But that pride of knowing what we did, what we fought together, that creates a bond that's huge, that's strong. You don't just get rid of that bond, you know. So we got to be able to stick with each other and have that communication. I can go on a date and find out that like she was in a relationship with a Marine. It's like automatically a huge comfort zone of like, she knows how crazy I am. Like I feel it's a area. It's a realm of understanding that we can all agree on, right? And if we start changing that and bending those rules, that's what do we do? If I'm having the same conversation with you in 10 years, but it's with some other kid that just barely got out of the Marine Corps and it's 2032, what's that like? What's his experience like? How do we help the next generation to shit so they know what's going on? Help them when they come out, go through that week of stellar taps and separation. They know everything about what's going on, how to handle stuff. Dude, we got out, we were just happy we could start growing a beard and not have to shave. Like, it's going to be interesting, and I'm all about helping tackle that battle and figure out what's going on and setting people up for success in a good way. But it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, not to be like against progress or change or anything like that. It's definitely necessary for growth, but there are concerns there. And, hopefully somebody that goes through a conflict or something like that, and then before they are separated, hopefully in the future, there will be things in place to help the transition a little more than kind of just cycling the GWAT babies in and out of there, and even like the Vietnam guys before us was way worse, but I'm not comparing. I'm just saying the way they were treated, by the country. We years and years ahead of them as far as how we were separated, but not good enough.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. Still trying to do the right shit.
Yep, it takes a community, though. We can't expect these institutions to know what we need. We need to figure it out like we have been, and then talk about it with each other. So,
yeah, I completely agree. It's not like that age-old saying. It's not what your government can do for you; it's what you can do for your government, right? Like you rely on the VA. The VA is going to be the VA. Like it's going to take outside people, us having conversations, having discussions, getting the right people in the right places to make those changes, make those improvements. So it's all good stuff.
For sure. Well, Court, man, as you is there anybody we like to give our guests on the podcast the opportunity to shout out anybody that helped you along the road? Big notable features in your life that you want to tell them you appreciate them and blow them a digital kiss or whatever.
Shit.
Give them a hit of dopamine.
Yeah,
man, it's kind of everybody I've been around. Davila been a huge role in just being there, being a support. I mean, seeing you guys out there watching Macklin wrestle, that was a pretty big. That was kind of a turning point for me. Realizing, you know what, even though I'm good, still got a lot. So Chris Hanson's been a good one. He's always been around, good buddy. Yeah, I'm excited to go out and see the wedding in November. It'll be good to see you guys again. So hopefully see you again.
good stuff, man. Well, I appreciate your time coming out here chatting with us.
And you're always welcome to come on, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it. Thank you, brothers. It's been a treat. I like it. So
July 3rd too. Colonel Cabot is going to come on, and we're going to do a webinar, pay a little homage
Nice.
to the homies of 2009.
Cool. That'd be awesome. Right on. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir. Thank you.